So this is a Business Unit 2 revision video for anyone taking their Buzz 2 Managing a Business exam for AQA on June the 4th, or taking it whenever you're doing it. Now I thought I'd make another revision video as my first one. Really glad that a lot of people found it useful and a lot of you were asking questions, so I thought, I was answering questions, but I thought I'd make another revision video for Unit 2 to answer some tips that you were asking me questions about, and to try and give you more tips to try and get an A in this exam, because this exam is a very challenging, exam to get a good grade in. So this exam, as you know, is managing a business, and it's 1 hour and 30 minutes long. Now it's 80 marks, so it's a lot of marks to get, and that's because there are only 2 questions, and in each question there are 4 parts, and each part are either short or long essays. There are no formula questions, there are no definitions, and there are no 3 or 4 mark questions. They are all 6, 7, 13, 15 mark questions. They're all big chunky questions, okay? That is the difference. There are 2 case studies, and each case study you need to be analysing in about 5 minutes, because if you work out the timing, there are 45 minutes for question 1 and 45 minutes for question 2, and because there are 40 marks in question 1 and 40 marks in question 2, you should be spending 40 minutes on question 1 and 40 minutes on question 2. That leaving you 10 minutes to analyse both case studies, so 5 minutes for each. Okay, so try and stick to that timing. Okay. Also, when analysing the case study, like I said last time, try and FMOP it. Now this is more important in Unit 2 than it was in Unit 1, primarily because of the reason that you get a question on each of the 4 things. So when you're FMOPing, you're going through looking for F, M, O and P, finance, marketing, operations and people, and you get a question on each of those things, whether it's in question 1, A, B, or if it's in question 2, A, B. So you need to make sure that you're sticking to that, analysing the case study, and it will really help you, okay? Now, in Unit 2, there are 9 formulas, and the formulas that you need to learn are finance formulas, which are variance, which is the budgeted figure minus the actual figure, net profit margin, which is net profit divided by sales revenue times 100, return on capital, which is net profit divided by capital invested in the business times 100. That's all you need to know for finance. For operation, there are 2 formulas, unit cost and capacity utilization. For unit cost, you need to the formula is total cost divided by output, and capacity utilization is actual output divided by maximum output times 100. Okay? 2 formulas for people, labor turnover and labor productivity. Basically meaning labor turnover, how many people are leaving. So number of staff leaving divided by average number of staff in the business times 100. And labor productivity is the total output divided by number of employees or workers. And finally, marketing. The 1 formula for marketing is PED, price elasticity of demand. And this formula is change in quantity demanded divided by change in price. And you should get a percentage for that. So they're formulas you need to know for Buzz 2, Unit 2. And obviously you need to link over your knowledge from Unit 1. So you need to know the formulas you learned for Unit 1 as they may come up, and they'll help you a lot when analysing the case study, okay? So net cash flow, profit, unit contribution, total contribution, market growth, market share, and opening cash balance. Try and recall your memory on those things because you need to know them. But primarily know the 9 formulas, but know the formulas I just said for the Buzz 2 unit, okay? Now, I'm going to try and give you some tips, once again, on what you need to learn, and also how to, go about these long case studies, okay? Now, I, have my mocks that I did for Unit 2. Now, an example of how the structure looks is, as you know, there are question 1 and 2, and there's normally A, B, C, and D in each paper. Now, normally they start off with A and B being a 6 or 7 mark question, and C and D being 13 or 14 mark question. Now, as you did in Unit 1, remember that if it's a 6 or 7 mark question, it only wants application. So all you have to do in the question, and an example of a question that only wants 6 or 7 marks, is something like, using table 2, calculate the profit variance for Emil's business for its first year of trading and state whether it's adverse or favourable. So all you do in that question, if 6 marks, you go to the case study, you look for where F is. Once you find F, you know, if you've learned your formulas, you know how to work out the variance, which is the budgeted, whatever it's looking for, so budgeted profit or revenue, minus actual. And the difference is the variance. And if it's adverse or favourable, adverse is negative. It means the difference is you know, not good, as in the budgeted is higher than the actual. And if it's favourable, the actual is higher than the budgeted. Okay, that's just a question. So it's a 6 or 7 mark question. All you want is application. And if it's a 13 or 14 mark question, then it wants you to go into more detail. It wants you to weigh up both arguments. But don't get confused. If it's a 13 mark question and it said discuss the strength and weaknesses of the ways in which Emil manages workforce, for instance, a question, you do not need to do a conclusion. You just need to do strengths and weaknesses, okay? However, if it says do you think or in your opinion, and it says justify your view, that is when you do an opinion. So do not get confused, okay? So I'm just gonna try and go through what you need to learn for Unit 2. It's quite a chunk, so bear with me, but I'm gonna try and do it as quickly and briefly as I can, not to freak you out, scare you. Okay, so operations. You need to know about working with suppliers. You need to know about customer service. You need to know about quality, so the different quality control, assurance, standard, and you need to know about using technology. There are only 4 main things you need to know about, and then within those you need to know, obviously, so working with suppliers, you need to know about an effective supplier or factors affecting choice of supplier. Customer service, know about market research, training, methods of meeting customer expectations. Quality, know what TQM means, total quality management. Know the difference between quality control, quality assurance, and quality standards. The main difference, by the way, is that quality control is at the end, so you check if there's any faults. Quality assurance, you check it each way throughout the line of its production, and quality standard is set by the business of what it aims to achieve. Okay, and then using technology. Can I just say, when you're emphasizing what they're using technology for, are they using robotics? What kind of technology are they using? Okay, do not just say technology in general. That's not being specific enough. Okay, stock control, communications, and then benefits or issues about using technology. Okay, so they're the main things you need to know about for operations. For people, formulas, remember again, productivity and turnover. You need to know about improving organizational structure. You need to know about levels of hierarchy, span of control, workloads, job allocation, and then delegation. You need to know about recruitment, selection, and training, the difference. So recruitment processes, internal v external recruitment and selection, how to select the best employees, and training and methods, so on the job and off the job training. Okay, and then motivating employees. So financial methods like bonuses, fringe benefits, pay rises, know about those. Job design, know the difference between enlargement and enrichment. And also know what job empowerment is. And then know, obviously, about the motivation theories, Maslow, Herzberg, Mayo, and Taylor. Know about the motivation theories and how they are important and what emphasis they have on the business, okay? Because different theories might have different application to a business, okay? So that's those two. Finance. Obviously, know your formulas for finance are very important for finance. Then you need to know about using budgets, the difference between income, expenditure, and a profit budget. And then you need to know about the benefits and drawbacks of using a budget. Improving cash flow. What is net cash flow? Opening and closing balances. And then you need to know about causes of cash flow problems and methods of improving cash flow. So causes of cash flow problems. What causes cash flow problems in your opinion? and then how do they solve them. So cash flow problems may be that seasonal factors, or your product may be, people might change their mind about it, or you might have cash problems like credit sales, stuff like that. Okay. Measuring and increasing profitability. Know what profitability is? It's how efficient the business is at making a profit from its total revenue. Don't get confused between total profit and profitability in a business. If you get asked some question on analysing or say 2 steps on how this business can improve its profitability, do not talk about improving profit. There's a difference, okay? Profitability is how efficient the business is at making a profit from its total revenue. A business making profit is just how well it's doing, basically. So don't get confused, okay? I know they're similar, but there is a difference, okay? And then obviously methods of improving profitability. And then know between the difference between cash flow and profit. Remember, cash flow is how much money is going in and out of the business, but profit is how much money or cash is left after all the expenses are paid. You've got to remember, if the business has a lot of cash coming in, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to have a high profit. That's the difference, okay? And then finally, marketing. Know what marketing mix is, so the 4 Ps: product, price, promotion, and place. And then know what an integrated marketing mix is. It's basically where the 4 Ps all integrated together. Know market share and market growth as formulas. Obviously know about the product, so know about what a USP is. Know about the product portfolio analysis, so the whole Boston matrix: stars, problem child, cash cow, and dogs. And then obviously know about the product life cycle: research and development, growth, mature, decline, and saturation. Know about price, so pricing strategies like leaders, takers, penetration, and skimming. Know about pricing tactics, and know about price elasticity demand. Promotion, also you need to know elements of the promotional mix and influence on your choice of promotional mix. Place, factors influencing choice of outlet, distribution channels, and factors influencing choice of distribution channels. And then degree of competition, to know about marketing structures like monopoly, oligopoly, stuff like that. And there you have it. I've just covered everything you need to know for Unit 2. It may seem like a lot, or it may seem like a little bit, but I've gone through specification, and that's all you need to know. But just make sure, when you're revising, a tip that I'd give you to revise is write it down. In fact, write it down a few times, cover it, or if you've got a formula sheet like this, on the back, ask your mum and dad to give you a question and write down what your answer is, and then check if you've got it right. Or if you're trying to revise from a textbook like this, try and not try and write everything. Try and get key points and then highlight them. Or, revise however you want to revise, but I'm just saying the tips that I would say is do not revise by reading. In my opinion, reading lots and lots of chunky information doesn't go in. And especially in business, you've got to remember that you're not going to get questions, what is this, what is that? You have questions where you've got to analyze the case study and then use your exam technique and your own knowledge. So there's no point reading chunks, because you don't really need to know what the book tells you. You just need to know the fundamentals of each thing, and then you've got to use your own common sense to explain or show the knock-on effect, and that's how you analyze. So coming on to exam technique, remember the big essay question, application it's looking for, if you can give a definition and give evidence and case study, that's fine. But for a big question, give your definition. If it wants your opinions, give your opinion and then why someone else might disagree, and then a conclusion. Or if it just wants you to weigh up both arguments, give one argument, give another argument, okay? And if you want to, you can do a conclusion, but if it's asking you just to do strengths and weaknesses, then you don't really need to do a conclusion, okay? And then obviously your conclusion, remember, give your points. In my opinion, overall, I believe this, because of what I've already said. That's another point. In your conclusion, it's got to be about what you've already said from previous analysis. Do not make up a completely new point. Your conclusion to supporting what you've already said, remember, is evaluating your statement. That's what it is, okay? So you're saying your point, giving your reasons that you've already said, and then if you want to get really good marks in your evaluation conclusion, say however this depends on, and give factors that it depends on. So you're weighing up your conclusion to show how you understand your opinion, but you fully understand the other opinion, the contradicted opinion, okay? And that is Unit 2. I really hope this video helped you, and I really hope you do well in Unit 2. Good luck, and if you have any queries or questions, leave the comments below. Good luck. Bye.